Hey, how's it going, everybody? Yesterday, the official trailer dropped for the UniVersus Critical Role Heroes of Exandria booster set coming out in March 2025. Luckily, I was able to see this during PAX Unplugged at the UniVersus booth this past weekend, so I've been super excited to talk about it all. One of the things I've enjoyed the most about making content for UniVersus so far is the bridging of different fan bases with our game. And I am a huge fan of Critical Role, so let me quickly explain to any UniVersus players what Critical Role is, and then to all you critters out there, explain to you what UniVersus is if you're not familiar. Critical Role in a nutshell started off as a Dungeons & Dragons web series where a bunch of nerdy voice actors sat around a table and played Dungeons & Dragons. Critical Role has blown up into a huge phenomenon across different nerd cultures, including tabletop RPGs, cosplay, and an entire animated series on Amazon. And for the critters out there, UniVersus is a character-driven collectible card game that brings multiple IPs together to see which character is the strongest. Using the variety of IPs within the game, you could build a deck using, say, Godzilla with Deku's smash attacks. This trailer is jam-packed with a ton of new cards and characters that we haven't seen before, so what I want to do in this video is first do a raw run-through of the trailer for anyone that might not have seen it before, and then we're going to go back and pick apart all the details that we can find in the trailer. And as always, before we dive in, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below at the end of the video and tell me what you think about the trailer. So with the intro out of the way, let's just dive into the full trailer.
The world of Exandria. From the halls of Tal Doré, where legends are born. To the roads of Wildmount, where mighty heroes are forged. Adventure seeks those who are ready to embrace it. Gather your allies. Collect legendary artifacts. And face some of the fiercest foes to ever walk the land. Does it look hurt? Knock the arrow, sharpen the blade, tune your lute, and set forth. Only one question remains.
You know, I never know what to do when I'm watching a video for a reaction because I don't want to talk over it until we're done and we get to the breakdown, which we are now at. So let's take a look and start at the beginning of the video again. And we first have our beautiful key art for the entirety of Exandria and Tal Doré and probably Wildmount all kind of just bunched into one. So the art just looks beautiful. The art in the set overall, from what I've seen, looks amazing. So keep killing it, UVS Games. And also just the trailer production overall is really good, especially with the past couple, like the whole 2025 release schedule. It's just been amazing. The production has been awesome. So it's really cool to actually enjoy these trailers. Some more art, and our first character we get to see is Grog Strongjaw, played by Travis Willingham. Grog is the barbarian in Vox Machina, which is the first campaign of Critical Role. This character is probably going to be mean, very aggro heavy, so I'm super excited to see what this character can do. And no, this isn't Kratos, this is Grog. And we have seen some other art of Grog on the playmats that have been put out there already, so it's cool to see more and just further confirmation that he will be a playable character. And then we have Keyleth. Keyleth is a druid in Vox Machina, played by Marisha Ray in the first campaign as well. Beautiful art for Keyleth. Super excited to see what a druid can do as a character now that transforms in the game. Is she going to be like a transforming druid, like shapeshifter? That'd be really interesting to see what they could do for a take as a playable character. And we have Percy. Whoops, that was quick. Percy, played by Chalison Jaffe, also in Vox Machina Campaign 1. He is a gunslinger, which was at first like a fighter archetype, and I think they put it into their own class or something like that. And we also have Percy, which we'll see later on one of the starter decks. So this will probably be a double up character, maybe also as like a set character and a starter kit character. So it'll be interesting to see the difference between the main set and starter characters if there are two different. Some more beautiful art, full volcano, and we have our first Mighty Nine character, Bo. Bo is a monk, also played by Marisha Ray, and Bo is also going to be one of the starter decks that comes out along with the set, as well as Percy, so we might also get two different versions of Bo. Then we have Jester. Jester is the cleric from Mighty Nine, and also the first returning character to UniVersus that we get to see. Jester came out with the Challenger series along with Not, and then the other deck was Vex and Vax. So this will be our second Jester to UniVersus, and hopefully they keep the ball rolling because Jester is one of my favorite characters to play. And then we have Caleb Widogast. Caleb is the wizard in Mighty 9 in Campaign 2 and is played by Liam O'Brien. And I believe we've also seen some other really cool artwork of him from the playmats. So it's cool to get another take on him in a different art style too.
Adventure seeks those.
And then we have our DM, most likely supposed to be Matt. And our first look at the starter decks and the full box set in this trailer. The art looks super cool, and you can also tell that the art for Percy and Bo looks fairly different than the ones we just saw. So that's kind of what leads me to believe that there will be two different characters, but I guess we won't find out until the card information drops.
Gather your allies.
And here we have our first actual card in the trailer, and this is a look at a character that is outside the core teams of Vox Machina and Mighty 9, and that is Alora Vysoren. It looks like the Arcanist of Taldore. Alora is one of the major NPCs that shows up in both campaigns, I believe. And she's a 6-hander with 28 health. And of course, they've got the blurring there to prevent us from seeing what the actual abilities are. And I don't know exactly when reveals are going to be starting. My guess is early next year, but I am very excited and I want them. I want to see what all these characters do. But that's cool to get a look at this character. Then we have our second non-main group character, Lady Kima of Vord, who's also partners with Alora, also a major NPC for Vox Machina in season 1, and is a 5-hander, but we cannot see the health or any of the abilities, just that she has the champion keyword or character trait. And then we have a look at our first Mighty 9 NPC character card, Pumat Soul. Pumat Soul is like the major store owner and vendor that they always go to throughout the campaign in Mighty 9. And I want to say that Pumat is a 6-hander with 20-something health. That's kind of what it looks like. And of course, all the blurred abilities, so we can't look or see. And then we get a look at the vestiges of divergence at what I believe are asset cards. The trailer calls them artifacts, which they are in the campaigns, but I don't believe they're a new card type unless they're renaming assets to artifacts or something, but I don't know. I believe they're green cards, so I think these are just assets. But in the campaigns, the vestiges of divergence are these incredibly powerful weapons and gear and different things that the members find and get to use throughout the campaigns. And the first one we get to look at is Fenthris, which is a bow, and then behind that is the plate of the Dawn Martyr, and then behind that is a robe, Cabal's Ruin. So I assume the abilities on these cards are going to reflect probably what the items do in the campaigns. Like Cabal's Ruin allows the user to absorb a bunch of like magic and damage and send it back at the user. And I see the text deals no something, so I assume it's going to deal no damage when you take an attack or something like that, which will be really interesting. And then the plate of the Dawn Martyr, I also saw something with health, which the plate of the Dawn Martyr like absorbs fire damage and different things like that. So they're definitely going to be on theme with what the actual artifacts do. And all three of these artifacts are from campaign 1. All the members of Vox Machina use them. And then we get a look at one of the vestiges of divergence from campaign 2. This is the sword Star Razor. I can never pronounce the actual name. It's like Dwalthavar, I don't know, something like that. But this is a sword that is used by Ford in campaign 2. And then we have a look at our new boss PvE cards, and the Briarwoods we already have in the game. We can already do the Briarwoods PvE fights, but clearly these are redesigned cards. They are larger than normal cards, and they're going to be coming on top of the booster set boxes. Now we actually have a lot more rules and instructions on these cards than we already do, because the current Briarwoods card is just like the name, agility, toughness, health, and I think that's it. And then all the instructions are on a separate sheet. So I believe, at least just my thought, that the rest of the instructions are probably going to be on the back of these cards, since they are larger and there's definitely more room, and you won't have to go out and look for them in a different resource. We have the Briarwoods, which again we already have, and then we have a look at our first new one, Kevdak. Let me see if I can get a better. There we go. So there's a lot of additional rules on this one. So this actually maybe that there isn't on the back. I don't know. But Kevdak is one of the main antagonists in campaign 1, related to Grog and his whole arc and everything. But as you can see, there are definitely a lot more rules and different things on this card. And then interestingly enough, we have the Manticore, which I think is something that Mighty Nine fights like super early on. So more of just like a generic beast or monster to fight versus an actual like named like super story heavy NPC like the first two. And then we have our first look at Vex. Vex is also a returning character because Vex and Vax are one of the Challenger Series decks that we already have. Vex and also another really fun character to play, so I hope they keep the ball rolling with that. And also, I'm very curious to see if the Vestige cards have something particular to do with the characters that wield them. Like, of course, Vex is the Ranger, played by Laura Bailey in Campaign 1, so she uses the bow, of course. So will she have like extra abilities or like Vex specific enhances if she uses Fenthras? Very curious about that. I'll look at the packs, and oh, my favorite. I'm so happy we got a look. We have a look at Scanlan. Scanlan is the bard in Vox Machina Campaign 1, played by Sam Riegel. A super fun character, very like crazy and interesting backstory and full storyline. Very excited about Scanlan. I hope this character is very fun to play. Just as a bard, there's a ton of crazy stuff you get to do, so super excited about Scanlan. And our next couple characters fly by pretty quick here. Oops, already missed one. We have a look at Caduceus Clay. Caduceus is also played by Taliesin Jaffe in Mighty Nine. We get to see that they are a 5-hander, and that's about it. But the art is so pretty on this card. I love it. It looks so good. And then we have Yasha looking cool as heck with the bone wings. Oh, amazing. And just the corpses behind is pretty cool detail for the character. And again, all we get to see is the tip of a number. I mean, that's either a 5 or I think that's a 6. I can't really tell, but at least we get to see some of the art. Available March 7th, uvsgames.com. So overall, a ton of really cool reveals and details from this trailer for the set. Character-wise, for Vox Machina, we know Grog, Keyleth, Percy, Vex, and Scanlan. The only ones we didn't see in this trailer are Pike, Vax, and maybe Terry. And then for Mighty Nine, we have Bo, Jester, Caleb, Yasha, Caduceus. And what we didn't see in the trailer is Fjord, Molly, and Not. And then NPCs, we have Laura, Kima, and Pumat. So overall, we basically know about 18 to 19 of the characters definitely coming with the set, so there's room for 1 or 2 more. Since we have 2 of the Vox Machina NPCs, it'll probably be another Mighty Nine NPC, but we will have to wait until all the reveals to find out. And if you're looking for details on the already revealed cards and the playmat art and all this different stuff, I'll have some links below to some UniVersus content creators have been putting out some really good videos on it all. But that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching it all through. Please let me know in the comments below what you think about the trailer and what your favorite parts of it are, or if you just enjoy Critical Role overall. But thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one.